Halloween hounds, it is Blackmetalwerewolf making a brand new October video for you this week. And today what I'm going to be doing is an update on my horror vest. For those of you who don't know, not only do I make vests with heavy metal patches on it, I've also made a vest with horror movie patches all over it as well. And on the lead up to October, I got so many messages from people wanting to see all the updates I've made on the horror movie vest, which I was quite surprised by because I didn't think that many people cared that much about it. But if that's what people are asking for, that is what I'm going to do. But also, at the end of the video, I'm going to be doing a reveal of my brand new horror jacket, so stay tuned for that as well. So here it is, folks, my horror vest. I remember when I first came up with the concept of making my very own horror vest, I thought it was a pretty creative idea. Instead of having a bunch of heavy metal patches, I thought I could go online and hunt for a bunch of horror movie patches as well. And to my surprise, not that many people have done it before, and if they did, I was not really aware of it when I made this. And I have to say, this is probably one of the most fun times I've ever made making a vest. Finding all my favorite horror movies and pins in patch form and pin form, and just putting them all together, it was just so much fun and I really enjoyed doing it. But in full disclosure, I don't really think I've done much to this vest, other than throw some pins on, because in my opinion, this vest is essentially done. As you can see in the overview here, there isn't that much more room for any patches, and in all honesty, I have the majority of all my favorite horror movies on here, and the ones that I don't have would be rather hard to find in patch form. Not that it would be impossible, I'd probably just have to look a bit harder to find it. So, though I can add more to it, as of right now, I do think it is essentially done. But let's not just talk about the patches, let's take a closer look at the pins, because I believe there are some pins on here that people may not have seen. So the first pins we are going to look at are the three that have come in the Metalhead box over the years. Now, two of them have come in Halloween Metalhead boxes, whereas one of them just came in a regular box. But looking left to right, we're going to start off with the Everyday is Halloween Peter Steele Type O negative pin. Now obviously, in my opinion, this belonged on a Halloween vest. I mean, it literally has bats on it and screams Halloween on it. I don't think of any other place where I could have put this. Right next to that, we have the Repulsion Rotting Zombie Face. Now obviously this pin could go on any metal jacket or vest, but seeing as how it's a rotting zombie face, it just matches with the rest of my vest, and I thought it really belonged on here. And then finally, we have the Halloween jack-o'-lantern head mascot. Once again, it just totally screams Halloween. It is a jack-o'-lantern headed monster. Where else am I going to put that? Alright, just below those, once again going from left to right, we have a Michael Myers carving a jack-o'-lantern. Now this pin I actually got as a present. I'm not 100% sure where the person got it for me, but it came in like a candle. So you light the candle and the wax eventually melts down, and this pin was hidden inside it. So some people might think that's stupid, and in my opinion it was kind of a waste of a candle, because I really just wanted the pin. Even though the candle smelled quite nice, I was really just in it for the pin. And then right next to that, we have a rather cartoony Creature from the Black Lagoon and Wolfman. Now, when I first saw these pins, I didn't particularly like them, but the more I looked at them, the more I actually appreciated the cartoonish version of them. And I thought, since I have so much realism going on in this vest, I thought it'd be kind of cool to obviously get the Universal Monsters on here, and those two are two of my favorite, plus have a different design on it. So why not? And then next to that, we have a Michael Myers Halloween 6 pin that I got from Trick or Treat Studios. And then right beside that, we have the Thorn from the Thorn trilogy from the Halloween movies as well. So in my opinion, these two belonged next to each other, and I just love that symbol of the Thorn. I actually have that tattooed on my right wrist, and I just thought it was really cool, and Halloween is obviously my favorite movie franchise of horror movies, so it just definitely belonged on here. And now for the final set of pins on my vest here, we have a rather cartoony and rather gruesome rendering of Tarman from Return of the Living Dead. Now, like the other ones, I wasn't exactly a big fan of the cartoonish version of this, but the more I looked on it, the more it grew on me. The gruesome cartoonish value of it really stuck with me, and it just ended up on my vest, so I really liked it. Moving on from that, we have the Haunted Mask from the Goosebumps television show, not from the books. I remember seeing the Haunted Mask episodes when I was a kid, and that mask scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I just couldn't get past it. It's something about it just frightened the hell out of me. And the idea of the mask being stuck to my face and never being able to remove it, and looking like that forever, gave me nightmares for years. So as soon as I found that pin online, I had to have it. and I've actually been looking for a replica of that mask from the episode, but I haven't really been able to find one for a decent price online. So fingers crossed one day I will eventually find it. And now next to the haunted mask, we have another set of the Universal monsters. We have cartoonish renderings of Frankenstein and the Phantom of the Opera. I don't have much to say about these ones I didn't have to say about the other ones, but I just have to say, look at the beauty of that Phantom of the Opera one. That purple coloring really makes it stand out, and I was already a Phantom fan before this, but this one makes me love him even more. And finally, we have another Tarman Return of the Living Dead pin on here. Now this is from the beginning of the movie when the canister is originally opened and his face starts melting off. So obviously I'm a very big fan of the Return of the Living Dead. In my opinion, it's one of the best zombie movies ever made, and Tarman himself is just an iconic horror character. So though I may have him on here twice, in my opinion he deserves it because he's just such an iconoclast of horror. So like I said before, my horror vest is pretty much done for now. There is a bit of space, so maybe in the future I'll find some more patches and pins to throw on here, but as of right now, I think this baby's done. But as many of you know, sewing patches onto vests and jackets is actually a really big hobby of mine, probably my main hobby. So just stopping at that vest was not an option for me, so that's why I had to start a new horror jacket instead of a vest. So as of right now, I only have 2 patches on this jacket, but in my opinion, there are some pretty top choices for patches. So let's take a look at what I got going on here. So as you can see, I have another Michael Myers with the cross blades and blood dripping off of it. Hopefully I can turn and get a better view for you guys there. And right above that, we have the Munsters. Now obviously, like I said before, I'm a gigantic fan of Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise, and I absolutely love the Munsters. I love the humor to it, the family-friendly quality to it. As a little kid, I could watch monsters on TV and no one would, like my parents wouldn't get mad at me. I have such a nostalgia for the Munsters, and the Munsters 100% belonged on this baby. So as you can see on this vest, I didn't go with square patches this time. I went with more different shapes. I thought it'd be a fun thing to do, and I liked how I got the overlap of the Munsters over Michael Myers, like the goo is starting to drip over him. So obviously I want to get more patches onto this. I've thought on one side of Michael Myers I could get the Evil Dead 2 looking skull from the cover of the poster, and either below it or on the other side of it, I'd like to get Freddy Krueger's glove. Once again, not square patches, but more formed to the shape of the patch itself. I think those would look really cool. The only problem is finding big size versions of those patches. I'm definitely going to have to do some deep online searching for that to see if I can find those. I did, however, take a trip to Spirit Halloween this year, and I did come across some really cool trick-or-treat pins and patches. However, when I got them home and tried to fit them on my vest, they were so small. So as much as I like them and as cool as they looked, it just wouldn't look right with this vest with giant back patches to have these itty-bitty little dinky patches and pins on the front of my vest. So as of right now, Trick or Treat isn't on this vest. Hopefully one day we'll find some cool Trick or Treat patches that are a bit bigger to throw on here. But just those ones are so tiny and pointless, I didn't see the point in putting them on this jacket. So as of right now, that's all I really have to show off for my horror vest and my new horror jacket. Maybe later in the month, if I find more patches to throw on this, I'll be able to show it off at the end of the month. But that's probably not going to happen, but we'll see. But of course, I want to get your guys' opinion on this. What do you think of my vest and my brand new jacket? Do you like the idea of the big fitted patches on here? Or do you think you like the more square idea of my old vest? But of course, if you guys have your own horror vests, I would love to know what kind of patches you guys have put onto it. I know over the years, a lot of people have told me that I've inspired them to make their own, so that is what I'd like to see. Instead of your opinions on mine, I'd like to see your guys' vests. Please send me pictures of them online. I would love to see what you guys have come up with. And now, of course, this year, I'm going to be giving you guys some more horror movie recommendations for your own monster movie marathons. So this year, unfortunately, I don't have physical copies of these movies. However, they are on Amazon Prime for anybody who wants to go on there and check them out. And those movies are The Houses October Built 1 and 2. Now, in my opinion, you should watch these movies at the same time, one right after another. So if you have 3 hours to spare one night, definitely get on Amazon Prime, put these on, and enjoy them. I don't want to spoil too much for you guys, but it's essentially about a group of friends going across America looking for the scariest haunts, but they end up getting more than what they bargained for. When I originally heard about this, I actually thought it was kind of a shitty documentary, but when I finally got to sit down and watch them, it's a lot more than that. So definitely check it out. The Houses October Built 1 and 2. So that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of today's video, checking out some of my past videos, and sharing them with a few of your friends while you're at it. If you'd like to keep up with me on a more daily basis, you can follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. I also have a P.O. box open. All of the info is down in the description. I also have patches for sale, so if you'd like to get your very own, you can click right over here. There's also a link down in the description. Overall, thank you very much for watching, guys, and don't forget to stay spooky.